Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm gonna show you the 10 best JRPGs on the Nintendo Wii. Now, if you think there's only like 5 or 6 RPGs on this system, you have no idea how wrong you are. Watch this video, see for yourself, and please remember that this is only my personal opinion and the list is based on my personal tastes. Alright, let's begin! Number 10. Shiren the Wanderer. I covered this game recently, so I'll be brief. I'm not really into roguelike RPGs, I only like a few exceptions. This is one of them. It has great graphics, cool characters, interesting story, balanced gameplay, and awesome controls. In other words, everything a game of its type usually doesn't have. It's part of a long-time running series with several games released throughout the years. They're all connected as Shiren is the main character, but it's hard to see a connection unless you're a die-hard fan, so you don't need to play one to understand the other. Roguelike RPGs like this usually revolve around going through top-down view maps. You move one grid and so does the enemy. Same rules apply to combat, so it's basically turn-based. The brilliance of this game, however, also comes from embracing these simple rules gallantly, so it's actually a great roguelike RPG for beginners. Number 9. Chocobos Dungeon. Another amazing roguelike that I like is Chocobos Dungeon on the Wii. This is part of the Final Fantasy fables and acts as a sequel to the previous games on the PS1. Chocobo will now be tasked to save a town that seems to have lost time. Therefore, people's memories have started to vanish. A mysterious key that appeared out of nowhere seems to be able to create labyrinths where you can find these memories. Chocobo will traverse these dungeons with that goal in mind. It plays as any other roguelike RPG out there where you moving means the enemy moves too, same with attack commands. Obviously you gotta be strategic on your movements, considering the terrain around you as an advantage. This game has great graphics, great controls, and also great interface. I'd say it's an even better entry for beginners into the genre than Shiren the Wanderer, and overall I think it's also the better game, though the difference isn't that much. Number 8. Pandora's Tower. Pandora's Tower is a dark action RPG where your two main characters in love escape from the Empire. However, the female lead has been cursed with a horrible disease that degenerates her body gruesomely, so your male lead will have to go into the various segments of an enormous tower, finding the hearts of each guardian. You'll have to feed your lover the flesh of the monsters you defeat in battle to keep her healthy, but the only way to fully remove the curse is to feed her the hearts. Now, this is one of the many Wii games that uses the motion controls. It can be a pain in the ass for those who didn't really love them, like me for example, which is why this game isn't ranked higher on my list. You can hack and slash your way through with the controller, but to use the chain you need the motion control. Platforming, puzzle solving, and moving around are also controlled normally. Boss fights, however, rely almost 100% on the chain, so there you go. These are very tricky and require a lot of skill and patience. But like I said before, if you like motion controls, you'll be fine and you'll love them. I think they're great nonetheless. Overall, it's a great game with neat ideas, but obviously, it's not for everybody. Number 7. Muramasa the Demon Blade. So this is the original release of this underrated game, previously remastered on the Vita. It's a 2D action RPG with beautiful graphics and, well, beautiful everything. I mean, it's Vanillaware, come on. Two main characters in a fantasy version of Japan's Edo period. Momohime, a princess possessed by a spiteful spirit, and Kisuke, an amnesiac ninja on the run. Both stories are connected but can be played separately, and you can start with whichever you want. The action is extremely fast-paced with some small Musou elements during regular battles. There's some platforming involved, but it's just to get more souls and some treasure. Characters can switch between the 3 currently equipped swords out of a variety of them that can also be customizable. This is crucial for those amazing boss battles so you can conveniently change swords at any time. This gameplay is badass. Controls, visuals and difficulty are perfect. Its only flaw is being too damn short, and it can be beaten in around 10 hours or so with both characters. Other than that, it's almost a masterpiece. Number 6. Arcrice Fantasia. Political tensions are strong between the Republic and the Empire, but a war starts thanks to a third faction against both. In the middle of this mess, the mercenary Lark is hired by the Empire to investigate the matter, but not before meeting a mysterious girl that seems to be related to this third faction. The game has a well-written story with character development and progression very similar to the Tales series. Sadly though, it has bad English voice acting, but it's not absolutely terrible. However, it's a turn-based RPG unlike the Tales games. This is a huge grindfest and possibly one of the hardest RPGs on the Wii. Battles are elemental based, with characters being able to use several types of magic, but aligned only to one or two of them. AP is shared by the whole party. You can either use all of it in one character or divide it amongst the others if you want to. But you spend one turn for this, so that's where the strategy comes through, especially with positioning as they can move around the battlefield. This system is very creative, but it also makes battles very hard, particularly the boss fights. Nonetheless, it's great, and despite my frustration over certain parts, I really enjoyed this obscure RPG. Number 5. Tales of Symphonia 2. The long-awaited direct sequel to the popular RPG on the GameCube, one that divided the Symphonia fanbase tragically. This one has new main characters that eventually meet with the cast from the previous game, and it follows the consequences of it, but from a different point of view. Marta and Emil seek revenge against Lloyd for personal reasons, but are they really after the real Lloyd? To make things worse, the evil Ratatosk now lives inside Emil and seems to be connected not only to Marta, but to the root of all problems. I don't know, I see nothing wrong with this plot, characters and story. In fact, it had some dark elements that made me love it even more. I also think the battle system was an improvement, as controls are far less clunky and technical than before. It just plays and feels better. It's kinda slow at the beginning since you're stuck with capturing monsters to fight beside you, but then it picks up once the original Symphonia cast joins in. Overall, this is such an underrated game that needs to be played with an open mind, and in my opinion, it's one of the best RPGs on the Wii. Number 4. Xenoblade Chronicles. While this is definitely number 1 for most people, it isn't for me. I'm having more fun with the definitive edition on the Switch, so I can't rank the original higher. You already know it's about Shulk and Party exploring the seamless world built on top of two giants. A phenomenal story from the great mind of Tetsuya Takahashi and his legendary Xeno series awaits you. A unique combat that mixes action with RTS. You select the actions of your characters while moving them in the most convenient angle. There's more to these battle mechanics like breaking the enemy guard or creating combos, but you already know that too. Not much I can say about one of the most popular RPGs of this generation. It's a great game, but I'm sticking with its Switch remake. Doesn't change the fact that it's still one of the best RPGs on the Wii. Number 3. Sakura Wars, So Long My Love. Welcome to my current holy trinity of RPGs on this console. Sakura Wars is a game that I've covered to death already since I fell in love with it about a year ago. The first one in the long-running series we ever got localized, also available on the PlayStation 2. A cross-genre that combines visual novel elements with puzzles, tons of decision-making, and strategic combat with the mesmerizing 1920s in New York! Music, style, design, graphics, controls, the imaginative gameplay is overly creative. Man, what a unique video game. Unfortunately, either version of this game is over $100 nowadays, so perhaps emulation might be the best way to play it, and it is strongly recommended. Number 2. The Last Story. The Last Story is a forgotten gem localized along Xenoblade Chronicles and Pandora's Tower. It was supposed to be Hironobu Sakaguchi's last written story, but that changed quite recently with another game. A war takes place in a baroque world revolving around a group of mercenaries. The protagonist soon gets involved with the princess of the kingdom, but also realizes things aren't what they seem to be over there. This game has a fantastic and unique cast of characters despite its romantic clichés. Strong development is also there to accompany the melodic nostalgia of Nobuo Uematsu. A battle system that was criticized for being automatic and sluggish. Do yourself a favor and change it to manual to fully control your main character. It will not always be hack and slash or third-person shooting. You will have a different mission objective almost every time, which gives tons of variety to the gameplay mechanics. Man, I hope this game gets remastered soon, as it really needs it, what with it being an exclusive to the Wii and all. Number 1. Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. The direct sequel to Path of Radiance, another overly expensive game nowadays. This one is getting there, so pardon me for insisting on emulation. Don't look at me funny because I own them. I got them around 10 years ago when prices weren't retarded. Yes, you need to play the first game to understand this masterpiece, sorry. Just like with Tales of Symphonia 2, this one focuses on the harsh consequences of the events in its predecessor. So first, you'll control a new party of mostly new characters that start a little rebellion against the new regiment. Soon, the main cast of Path of Radiance takes over, colliding with this new party. That's all I'll say to avoid spoilers. The gameplay is still as masterful as it was on the first game. Just keep in mind there was an error in localization. Nintendo of America messed up the difficulty and accidentally removed the real easy mode. So playing it on easy means you're actually playing on normal, whereas normal means you're playing on hard. If you understand that, then you'll have a blast playing through one of the best JRPG sequels of all time. Loved Path of Radiance, love the new cast here, love the controls, map design, its clever features, and of course, its completely broken characters. Definitely my favorite RPG on the Wii. Alright guys, that was my list, and if you want to know more about certain RPGs I covered in today's video, please be sure to watch the Hidden Gems video that I did about a year ago. In there you will see that the Wii has its short but humble and good library of RPGs. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. See you next time!